Jay Wasley's on the hotline with us from Ghost Adventurers on Discovery. What's up, Jay? Good morning. How are you, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. I understand that you're around. Are you guys looking at Lake Mead? I know the water's kind of receding, or has been. Maybe it's coming back. They're finding all kinds of bodies and stuff out there?
Yeah, I think it's literally revealing a dark past of Las Vegas and the area. And that's what our premiere is. It's a 2-hour special called Lake of Death.
Do they have like?
And it originally was. Yeah.
Do they have people like with the cement feet and all that kind of stuff?
No, they were actually finding bodies in barrels, like kind of the industrial barrels. They were finding bodies stuffed in these barrels, and then literally on the bottom of the lake as the water receded.
Wow!
And that's what piqued our interest. And from there, we went out there thinking that, it would just be kind of focusing on that. And then we started talking to park rangers in the NPS, the National Park Service. And they started telling us that over the course of so many years, there's been over 3,000 deaths at this lake.
Wow.
Not all murders, but like murders, suicides, accidents. And we ultimately were like, this was a greater investigation than we thought it was going to be. And we turned it into a 2-hour special. And besides just deaths and bodies, we have park rangers telling us that they are experiencing and seeing shape-shifting creatures out there as well.
Wait, what?
And shape-shifting creatures. They've been telling, like, witnesses, not just one or two, like multiple witnesses telling us that they've seen these weird shape-shifting creatures that look like a human running or going through an area and all of a sudden transform and shape-shift into something else. And the craziest part is when we were out there investigating, there was multiple times, I think at least 2 times, where we caught some evidence that, to us, looks like shape-shifting creatures.
Wow. Now, you guys have been doing this a long. Ghost Adventures has been on for, I don't know how long. It's been forever. When you first
years, something like that.
Yeah. Well, Jay, when you first got into it and you're like, do you remember the first time you saw something and you were like, this is legit messed up?
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, it was even before the show. I was into it as a kid. I had paranormal experiences growing up, and then played with Ouija boards and was into all that weird, creepy stuff. And then as I became an adult and kind of got away from it and started working as a camera sound guy. And then the show called me to be their sound guy, and I was just like, all right, this is just another gig at first. But then once I got out there, like all that old, experiences, that old interest I had came flooding back, and it just mixed and it just kept growing, and it was like a perfect storm. And then over the years, there's been more and more experiences that I've had that I know, hands down, there's more to this life than just this, that there is some kind of spirit world. What it all is all the time, I don't know. And I will never say I know it 100%, but I do know that there's more out there. There's good and negative energy, whether you call it demons,
I call it
spirits,
demons.
whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to label it as, it exists.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Wednesday nights on Discovery, Ghost Adventures. Make sure you check it out. Jay Wasley's with us. We'll come back. We'll get into some more creepy stuff, a little pro ghost in here. On the way, hang on. Hey, Jay is joining us. Jay is a part of Ghost Adventures, sound guy. He's talking about the new 2-hour premiere for the season on Discovery, where they're at Lake Mead and they're looking at isn't it coming back? Isn't Lake Mead, like, the water getting better, or is it still receding?
It's gotten better. This winter, thankfully, we had a great snowfall up in the mountains in northern Nevada and Utah. All the water that runs down to fill it up. I've had an amazing winter. Maybe not amazing for the people that live there, but it's good for the lake. So it has hope that it's coming back, but it's just one season, and they claim it's not enough to make it 100 back. We probably need multiple winters like this.
It's a lot. It's so bad.
It makes it way back.
So when you find bodies in a barrel, or they find this kind of these deaths, now that the water's receding, so I know that you guys are doing more paranormal kind of stuff, but does the authorities get in? Can they track who these people are after all these years?
Yeah, there's been, they haven't officially released, I don't think exactly, but there's definitely, they've narrowed it down to a few people. I know one of the bodies in the barrel, they think it was one of the owners of a marina that had some shady ties with things that kind of went missing at some point. So they're still kind of piecing all the pieces together. But yeah, they are fully investigating all these. They're taking it very seriously and opening up old cold cases, missing person reports, things like that, trying to figure out who these people are.
I think it's so crazy that you guys have taken the show really outside for this, too, because, most everything is always haunted houses or haunted buildings and that kind of stuff. Haunted areas is completely crazy because, like, when I lived in Guam, there used to, the thing was called a tautomono. It was a spirit that wandered the jungles. And so if you had to pee and you're in the jungle, you had to ask permission or bad things would happen. So, you quickly outdoors, you respect it, and it makes you look at everything a little different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely scarier on a whole other level. There was one point we heard a story of this guy who was literally living off the grid in a very remote part of the park. And he had like an altar he built in his little tent that he was worshiping something and doing some kind of crazy rituals out there. Wow. And these fishermen came across him and he threatened them, so they called the Rangers. The Rangers came out. He attacks the Rangers with a machete, and they just shoot him dead right there. So we were like, well, we got to get to that spot. Something dark is definitely, who knows what he's worshiping, conjuring out there, so let's go out there. It ended up being a 2-hour ATV ride through all kinds of terrain just to be able to get to this spot. It was pretty intense. Physically, not, people think, spiritually and mentally, but the physical demand of this investigation was incredibly high.
Well, make sure you check it out. Ghost Adventurers on Discovery Wednesday nights. And Jay, all the best to you. Please stop messing around with the Ouija boards. I know you know. Oh
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I've definitely cut back. I'm in a group now.
Yeah, good. Go to church. I gotta do that. Jay, thanks, man. Wish you all the best.
Thanks. Take care.
Well, because over the years, teenage kids have told you to like and subscribe, we don't have to say that anymore.
You know what to do.